Hello to all of my 724 subscribers. Today I will show you how I'm starting to learn to draw legs. I already made this type of video focusing on arms, so if you are interested you can check it out. Now, before starting, let's see how can I draw leg, single leg, only my imagination and all of my images from my head of legs. And as you can see, it's safe to say that I don't know anything about legs. The first thing we need to do before learning to draw something that is unfamiliar, it is to understand the shape of it. So we need to learn all of the muscles on the legs. As a reference for the start, I will be using a book that's called An Atlas for Anatomy for Artists. So the first drawing will be the most standard and simple position of the leg, and I will just be adding all of the muscles and bones on top of it. Again, this is all from the reference, because if you want to learn to draw something that is new to you, you have to use a reference and then afterwards try to deconstruct it into simple shapes. Here I am also using colors. With red I colored, in my opinion, the most important and the biggest muscles. For orange I use for medium-sized muscles. With yellow are the most smallest and not that important muscles. And with green I colored all the bones, just so I can separate it better. Now you can see all of anatomy of a single leg, but with only this image we still don't understand all the shapes, because this is only from one angle. So I will draw the same leg but from the sides and from the back, so we can see all the muscles from any angle. Now, when I have all the angles of the legs and I can see all the muscles basically anywhere, then for this next part I went on Pinterest and just type a reference, or rather poses of legs for references. I draw them and I used those three poses that I already drew, so I can put the muscles and all the bones on these references that I was drawing. This exercise helps me a lot because I am more comfortable drawing muscles on the legs. And keep in mind, on these references they were just poses of legs, they were not any anatomy or anything like that. I was just using the poses for the legs and then adding muscles on top of it. For me this is the best way to draw and to practice drawing anatomy, because yes, you can draw pretty good when you are looking at the muscles, at the anatomy, but when you need to put it in practice, where you can't look at the reference, then you don't know what to do. So as I said, these are all poses that I found on internet, and I was looking at the muscles and just putting it on those references. This one I just made a simple pose, a simple body structure, and with this one I didn't look at any muscles, so again something new. And I think I did a pretty good job at proportions and all the muscles, and this is where I start to draw actual muscles and all of the anatomy of legs, but I don't look at the reference. This is another step forward that it is necessary for every artist. And then again I went back to looking at the references and putting muscles. So if you ask me what is the best way to learn something new, and I think this video portrays that very good. The first thing and the first step is to draw that something in very basic and standard positions, and just look at those positions and try to remember it over and over again. And another thing that I didn't do in this video, that I didn't show you, draw every single that standard pose for as many times as you need, so it's just cemented in your mind that you can draw it at 2 AM or 2 PM or I don't know, so you can draw it anytime you want without looking at the reference. When you know the standard positions, then you can draw a little bit more difficult positions and then just put those parts from the standard to the more difficult positions. This is the second step. I think this is the most difficult one because you try to think in your head how those shapes, how those bumps are looking in space, in 3D space. And yes, it may took you some time to figure it out, but it is necessary, trust me. The third step is to draw it without any reference. Start with the standard poses and then start with the more difficult ones. And I think that's it. When you can draw that new thing without any reference, in any pose, in any perspective, then I think you've made it. I know that everyone has their own best ways of trying and learning new things, but this is the best way for me, and you can try it out also. If I helped you guys in any ways, I will be so happy. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.